Introducing
Pretty Girls Love Real Estate. Stories of everyday women breaking barriers and building wealth through real estate.
Let's get it. Boss. BOSS.
Hello. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Pretty Girls Love Real Estate podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Washington, and we're here today. My guest this week is Kim Kelley. She is a realtor in the Tampa area, and I'm really grateful that she came on today because she actually helped me to get started with some business ventures I have going on and finding some properties down here. And I'm hoping that we're going to be working together even more in the near future. So, hi, Kim. Thank you so much for coming on to the podcast today.
Hello, Jessica. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's turning into hurricane season now in Tampa, so I'm getting adjusted to going from 80 degrees and sunshine now to it raining a lot of the times here.
Oh, yeah, but we have hurricane parties. It's going to be great. You're going to love it.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that. So I brought Kim onto the show today because I thought it was really important to not just talk about women that are far advanced in their careers. I wanted to kind of take it from the grassroots and for people that are just getting started out with their real estate career, and also to really showcase somebody that is doing a full-time profession aside from real estate and doing real estate part-time, and kind of showing their journey as they continually grow their real estate business. So with that being said, Kim is a member of the medical profession. She's been doing it for about 20 years. So I wanted to talk to her about, how she got started in real estate. So just tell me a little bit more about yourself and then how you got started when you decided to do real estate.
Okay, a little bit about myself. Like you said, I've been in the medical profession for 20 years. I'm an occupational therapist. Did it for 20 years, but it was never really me. I love the medical profession. I thought about teaching. Went back and got my doctorate, saying, okay, I'm going to teach occupational therapy and I'm going to love it. No, still wasn't interested in the medical profession. So then, I just started talking to my aunt and uncle, and they really got me to, transitioning over to the real estate field. My aunt Ann, she's been in the real estate market for about 30 years. She's had her own property management for 15 years. A lot of people in the area know her. Her name is Ann Thompson. Her company is Thompson Property Management. So she's been in the business for quite some time. And my uncle, which is her ex-husband, Alan Thompson, he's been in the business as well for about 30 years. He's done a lot of things. He was the senior vice president for Bank of America for with the multicultural markets for the Southeast region. And so right now he is the main sales trainer for the commercial real estate with Keller Williams. So those two, they've really got me to transition over, and looking at their success, I'm like, I want that to be me.
Okay, cool. So obviously, you've been seeing your aunt and uncle do some great things. So what was the point where you yourself decided, okay, let me, kind of follow more in their footsteps. Let me start actually learning. Let me take some action and get my real estate license.
Well, I set a goal for myself. I said, my 20 years was going to be my mark, my 20-year anniversary being occupational therapy. This is my 20th year. And so I knew I had to start making some things happen. So last year I, set some time away from work. I took the real estate course, got the real estate license, and signed up with Keller Williams.
Okay. And just to let people know, a lot of people want to get their real estate license, but there's a process. And then there also is a financial commitment to getting your real estate license before you start making money, before you can start, interacting with clients. So can you just talk a little bit about what the process is from, okay, deciding I want to get my license to choosing a school to attend, and then the process after you finish the classes?
Well, like they say, it takes money to make money. That is definitely true. So I would recommend anyone set aside a couple of $1,000s for the initial startup cost, because there are a lot of fees that I didn't know about. But the course itself, of course you have to pay for that. I think, here was about $300, and then any extra study material that you get. Then of course paying for your license and paying for the MLS, so you can be active in using the MLS. So there are a lot of fees. So I would just say, set aside that money and then just go for it.
And what was the, I guess, was it because of your uncle that you decided to go with Keller Williams as opposed to any other brokerages?
I would say he had 90% influence because he was there, and I felt more comfortable going where he was. But also they have a lot of training opportunities there. They have really good training. So even if he wasn't there, I probably would have gone with them just because of all the training that they have.
Okay. Yeah, I personally know a lot of people all around the country that are in Keller Williams, and the main thing that they always say is that they have a lot of training opportunities, a lot of mentoring opportunities. But if you're thinking about getting your license, I would definitely listen to many different brokerages, because there's a lot of differences with the fees. Like you said, the training opportunities, the coaching opportunities, and the fees for MLS access, desk fees. There's a lot of things to consider, how many locations, how many actual offices that they have in your area. So a lot of different things to consider when you're choosing a brokerage. All right. So cool. So you started your real estate journey, you got your license. Can you tell me about your first deal that you actually did?
My first deal. I was pretty nervous. I got the first deal from a friend of mine. His mom was selling her home to downsize. She wanted to sell her home and move into an apartment. She was a widow. And so yeah, he just, actually he called me and he said, I heard your aunt's a realtor. My mom is selling her home. It's like, you're my friend. Hello. I got my real estate license. He's like, oh yeah, that's right. So my uncle, he just kind of guided me through the process, and it went pretty smoothly. She was really happy. She said that it seemed like I had been doing it for a long time, and fake it till you make it. That's pretty much how it was with my first transaction. I would just make sure I knew the steps to take in our computer system at Keller Williams, how to do different things, trying not to make any mistakes. But I think I did pretty well. And plus having him as my mentor, it made the process, a lot easier than had I done it by myself. So I would recommend anyone getting a realtor, because you're going to have those fumbles. You're going to have questions. So yeah, but it went pretty smoothly. She was happy.
Absolutely. Every transaction is different, and it's definitely good to have that person that's guiding you through the process, especially if you're a first-time home buyer or it's the first time that you're selling a property. It's a lot of different nuances that you may not think about. And also a realtor is good to kind of just, keep the transaction moving, keep on top of you, like keep you accountable to make sure that you have the paperwork and all the information that's needed to just move the transaction forward and get everything done as quickly as possible.
And I would say be very responsive too. Like, I know how I am, because I've sold a couple of homes, just being on that side of being the customer. And you have to be responsive. If your client has questions, to me, it doesn't matter what time it is. Someone texts me 10, 11 o'clock at night, they have a question, they're concerned. If I'm up, I'm going to answer. I'm not going to have the attitude of, it's not working hours. I'll call them tomorrow. I'll text them back tomorrow, So I think that's what's going to help me a lot, because I see that in my uncle. He's very responsive. I can message him anytime and he's going to answer. So yeah.
I definitely co-sign that, when you were helping me out, or you still helping me out with stuff, like you always respond, you always get information to me ASAP. So I really appreciate it. And like you said before, I couldn't tell that you were newer to the game. You're very knowledgeable, you're very on point with it. So I appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, of course. So tell us a little bit, because some people may not be familiar with Tampa Bay area, and there's a lot of great things going on. Prior to this pandemic, there was always a lot of public events, a lot of sporting events, a lot of concerts, just a lot of different things going on in the area. And it's really popular with tourism because there's a lot of beaches here, obviously. So can you tell people that may not be familiar, what are some of the unique things that makes Tampa a good real estate market?
Like you said, we do have the beaches. Of course, we have Tom Brady now, so I'm sure a lot of people want to follow Tom. But yeah, we have the Bucks. Everything is fairly close. I want to say it's a big town, but it's a small town. You know, you can get anywhere in 30 minutes here. Traffic, it gets a little rough, but it's not horrible like other cities. Mm-hmm. We have the theme parks, you know, Busch Gardens, Adventure Island. We're only an hour away from Orlando and all their theme parks. Let's see what else. Can't beat the climate. You know, we get the humidity, but, you know, the weather is pretty much always good here. Aside from hurricane season, if it rains, the rain is going to, like yesterday, that was an exception. But when it rains here, it rains for a good 10 minutes and then it's done. The sun is back out again. So it's just a great place to be. I've been here all my life. I've lived other places, but I always come back here.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So can you tell us a little bit about maybe how the market has changed or about how it's affected the process of doing transactions now during the pandemic, or if it's had any effect on it?
I haven't seen a huge effect. The only thing that I've noticed is with the showings, you know, people were apprehensive about having strangers in their homes, you know, bringing germs and things like that. So that was to be expected. That was the only real change that I saw. I'm still getting listings. So I haven't seen much change. And, you know, talking to a couple other realtors, they haven't seen a huge change. One of my friends said that she saw a change with the luxury sales, you know, more expensive homes, that she noticed a decline. But other than that, everything is still moving.
That's what's up. Ain't no pandemic gonna stop us from getting money out here.
Right.
So tell me about some of those new listings and new projects that you have coming up.
Well, right now I just sold 2 homes. You know, my friend's mom home that I sold. Just sold another home in an area called Riverview. That's a really up and coming area. Right now I have a listing in this historic part of town called Ybor City. A lot of people are like in that area. You probably heard of Ybor City. Very historic, very nice area. You see chickens walking around. It's pretty cool. And then I just got entrusted with the listing of 4 properties from an investor. So I'm going to be listing those pretty soon. So yeah,
Okay, you got your hands all over. And yeah, Ybor City is like one of the most up and coming areas. It's part of it is like residential neighborhood, but then there's a downtown kind of main street district where they have a bunch of bars and tattoo parlors.
Right.
One thing that I stood out to me when I first got here, a thing that's really popular is cigars.
Oh yeah, Cuban cigars and
Yep. So there's a lot of cigar shops. Yeah. There's a lot of cigar shops and just a lot of things that scream Tampa in that area. So it's definitely a hot market, and I've seen it, the chickens and the roosters. So that was definitely crazy when I first seen that down here.
Yeah. The place where I met you, there were a lot of chickens around the area. Yeah. They just,
I know.
And they're protected too. You better not touch them. We were joking around when during the pandemic, when all the meat was scarce in the stores. You know, we're joking. Those chickens, they're looking pretty good. We can't get chicken in the stores.
No, don't mess with the chickens.
We can't mess with those chickens.
Don't mess with the chickens.
But yeah, it's a really good place, and you know, a lot of nice restaurants to eat around Ybor, and you know, we have International Mall. It's a lot to do here. It's just a fun place.
Cool. So where do you see yourself going forward with your real estate career? You have a lot of listings. What else do you want to do now?
I would like to transition over into the commercial side. Not sure what aspect of commercial, but just hopefully by next year I could really get into that area and learn a lot from my uncle, since he's the main trainer in town.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's my goal.
All right. Well, let's move into our segment that we like to call the Fabulous Four. So it's just 4 questions I ask off the top of your head, you know, whatever comes to mind, answer first. So the first question is going to be, what is your favorite real estate book?
My favorite real estate book. My uncle gave me the book, The Millionaire Real Estate by Gary Keller. I just started that one. So hopefully by next week I'll be finished with it. But so far it seems pretty interesting. A lot of good information in it. So.
Yeah, I've read that. It's definitely, helpful, especially for somebody as an agent. And it's by Gary Keller, like you said. That's one of the people that founded Keller Williams brokerage. So pretty much any Keller Williams person that has probably read that book.
You probably read it. That's what I hear.
Is fanatical about it. So you should definitely enjoy it. All right.
Cool.
So number 2 is knowing what you know now. What advice would you give to yourself when you were just starting out doing real estate?
Knowing what I know now, I probably would have read more of the books like The Millionaire Real Estate. I probably would have read it more before even taking the courses, just to know what I'm getting myself into. I think I kind of took it for granted. Oh, my aunts and uncles in it, I'll be fine. But it was a lot of stuff that I probably should have started learning for myself. But it's okay. I just got in not long ago, so it's not too late to just learn and keep learning. So.
Well, yeah, you probably had one of the most important steps coming into that a lot of new people don't have, is that you had a mentor, you had a person that was going to hold you accountable, and a person that was going to teach you the ropes right from day one. So you definitely, you're blessed to have that, blessed to have somebody that was successful that's going to show you exactly what you need to do your own business as well.
Right. And hold me accountable. I can't say that enough, because the very first listing that I did, when I had to type it up and he read it, he was like, "This is not how we do things." I'm like, "Well, this is my first one." I mean, he just jumped down my throat, but it's all out of love. So he's like, if you're going to do it, you got to do it right. Okay.
All right.
And I got it right. So my next one
is cracking the whip, getting you a shape.
Oh my God. Yeah. You have no idea.
All right, cool. So the third question is, what is something that you personally want to learn more about when it comes to real estate?
What I want to learn more about, I would have to say the IT part of it, because it's so much with doing just one transaction. So that's probably the most challenging learning curve, especially being in a whole different field with healthcare, and learning the IT field over there and how to enter in patient information. Then coming over here, it's like, at the end of my day, I'm like switching hats. You see my monitors back there. So here in front of me, I have my stuff that I do for my job. And then at any time, I have to take a 15-minute break and switch around there and do something with the real estate stuff. So yeah, IT can be something else, but what can we do?
Yeah, that's actually interesting that you said that, because there's a lot of different forms that have now moved online. I know. Yes. I've done transactions with other realtors that work with Keller Williams, and they have platforms like .loop where they send all the forms and offer letters and everything that you need to sign, lead disclosure statements, all that kind of stuff. And then there's the marketing aspect, which is a whole nother animal in and of itself, specifically to real estate. And so that's definitely interesting that you said that, and definitely something that people need to consider when they're thinking about getting their license.
Yes.
Okay.
You gotta be in IT savvy. That's for sure. You're gonna struggle, but everything is learnable and teachable. So you just have to be patient with it.
Yep. And then once you learn it and you kind of master your own way of doing things, it helps you to scale and it helps you to be more efficient. So it's definitely something that's very important.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
So the last question is not really a question, but can you please give a shout out to one other amazing woman doing something great in real estate?
Okay. I would have to say that would be my Aunt Ann, because she's the main woman that I know that's in real estate. Like I said, she's been in the field for 30 years, and I've just seen her doing amazing things. For her to have her own property management company. She just turned 60 years old, and she's I just see the way she's reinventing herself. She just graduated with her master's in international real estate down at FIU with a primary focus in the global market of commercial real estate. So she's getting ready to do some amazing things with that, doing some traveling. So I just see what she's doing at her age, and hopefully when I get her age, I'll still be doing the same thing, and, you know, if not more. But I've always looked up to her. Very professional, very smart. So yeah, she's my role model when it comes to real estate.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We're going to have to get her on the show as well to just tell us about her amazing career, and also,
Yes.
you know, looking forward to some of the things that she has going on. So, you know, the people
Oh yeah,
learn from her.
She'll blow it away. I tell you, I can only wish to be half as good as she is when it comes to this stuff. But yeah.
Well, you started the journey, and you got somebody to look up to that's doing great things. So definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. So lastly, can you just tell people where they can find you if they want to get in contact with you to, you know, even if they're in the Tampa area, to do business with you?
Yeah, well, okay, my email address is homesbykim20. It's HOMESBYKIM20 at yahoo.com. And my telephone number is 330-879-8129. And you can text me.
All right, cool. Yeah, like she said, she definitely will respond. Definitely very informative about what's going on in this market. And she has a great team behind her as well. So if you're interested in doing anything related to real estate in the Tampa area, I would highly recommend that you guys reach out to her. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So anything else, any other messages that you want to leave the folks that are listening?
I can't think of anything specific. You know, just give me a call, give me an email, shout out, especially if you're relocating here. Like I said, I'm a native of Tampa. I know the areas. So yeah, I won't steer you wrong. I'll be there for you and find what you're looking for. But it's a very good place, great place to be. And I thank you, Jessica, for this opportunity. I'm so glad you relocated here. We're happy to have you here.
Yeah, I needed some sunshine in my life. It was too cold up north. I was tired of dealing with snow and everything. So on to the next adventure. And so far, so good. Everything's, you know, been so beautiful here, and I meet amazing people like you. So really appreciate your time. Thank you for helping me, and let's continue to do great things moving forward.
Absolutely. All righty.
All right. Well, this was, again, this week's episode of the Pretty Girls Love Real Estate podcast. Thank you so much again for my guest, Kim Kelley, for this week, and we'll see you all next week. Thank you.